G'day, what do you do when the power goes out? Well, some people go for a torch, some people go for candles. Myself, I go for a power inverter. What is a power inverter? Well, power inverter converts 12 volts into mains, 240 in our case, so that you can run 240 volt appliances. And in the case of a power outage, the tree falls down, cuts out the power lines, who knows, whatever, the grid goes down. One of these is actually brilliant to keep, have handy, put it in a cupboard, keep it somewhere. They just simply clip onto a car battery or to, you know, a deep cycle battery, or, you know, basically any 12 volt power source, and you can have 240 volts mains. The purpose of this is to run lighting. So this is a brand new one in a box. Let's unbox it, let's connect it up to a battery, and let's see how long we can run lighting for, just in the case of backup power. So I find nothing more annoying than when the power goes out, I'm walking around the house with candles and torches. You know, this is hopeless. Whereas one of these things, I can run all my lights with it. So in that instance, let's open it up, let's check it out. Well, this is the power inverter here in the box. It's a 300 watt power inverter. Converts 12 volt DC up to 240 volts. So yeah, this is a very standard type of power inverter. It's by no, sorry about all the noise going on, cars and stuff. It's by no means an expensive one. Generally, this is what you get in the kit. You get a spare fuse, which is handy. You get your leads to clip onto a battery. This one looks like it also supplies a cigarette lighter adapter. And the inverter itself. So this is the basic unit. At the back we've got a fan, got our fuse. Now 12 volt inputs go here. On the front, that's where you plug in a power board or whatever. This one has actually got a USB charge up as well, and we've got an on and off switch. So wiring up one of these is very, very simple. We've got red and black, and the leads we've got red and black, so we just wire them up. Alright, this particular inverter comes with two adapters. One can go into a cigarette lighter, one can go directly onto battery. So I'll be using this one because I'm going to be clipping it onto a 90-hour deep cycle battery. So setting one of these up is no more difficult than basically just clipping your wires onto these two terminals. Our black, have our red. And we are good to go. As you can see, the instructions to wire one of these up is very simple. You just simply unscrew these terminals, clip your leads on, screw them up tight. You've got your 2 clamps here ready to go into your battery, positive and negative, and you're good to go. So let's check out what the low voltage is on this, because all inverters will cut out when the battery voltage gets too low, and the reason for that is to preserve the battery. So let's just have a look in the book here and try and find that. Okay, the section here, we've found it, and we're looking for low battery alarm, which is at 10.5 volts, which is good. So, and we've got a low battery shutdown at 9.5 volts. So basically you'll get an alarm at 10.5 volts, and the actual inverter itself will turn off when it hits the 9 volt mark. So that's going to preserve, or at least protect, your battery, because any lower than that, if you discharge a battery any lower than that, you can actually cause damage. So let's hook it up to a battery and let's see how long she'll run for. Where are we? 3:39 p.m. Okay, and at 3:39 p.m. what we're going to do, inverter's turned on, that's going up to this power board. We've just turned on. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6 lights that are all 240 volt. So let's see how long this will run for, running 6 lights. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to jump the battery charger onto this as well, so that we can monitor the battery voltage. So the battery is currently on 12.3. Our time is now 3:41, and we're running our trouble light over there, 6 other lights there, or 5 other lights there, sorry, so 6 in total. So let's see how long our 300 watt inverter will run on a 90 amp battery that's only at 70% health. All in the scenario of if we've lost power, there's a power blackout, what can we do? Okay guys, well, the time is 9:15 p.m. Just thought I'd come out and check it out. Our lights are all running. The inverter's still running quite nicely, quite happily. It's not even warm, it's cold. And we are currently now sitting on, well, teetering between 12 volts and 11.9 volts. And the current time on the clock is 11:09 p.m. So we're still going pretty strong. I mean, we've got to pull down to 10.5. So, or at least until the alarm goes off. So it looks like I might be up for a bit of a late night. Current time 12:21 a.m. and our battery voltage is hovering, or was pretty much sitting on 11.8 by the looks of that. 11.9, so right in the middle between 11.9 and 11.8. Okay, let's have another look. Current time 1:44 AM. Okay. Current voltage 11.8. Okay guys, we're coming up to the 2 o'clock mark, and that means that the inverter sucking power off the battery has been running for 10 hours straight. That's pretty impressive. Current voltage is sitting on 11.7. So considering we've still got 1.2 volts to drop, that's going to take a few more hours, and it's already 2 AM. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut things down now. I'm actually going to I'll turn everything off, and in the morning I'll plug it back up, turn it on, and we'll run it down to the 10.5, and we'll count, you know, keep a count of how many hours we've been going for. Righto, it's 8:12 AM the following morning, and let's power him back up and go again. All right. We connected up the inverter. We'll connect up the voltmeter. Inverter's on, and we'll hit the light switches. There we go. And let's see how far we go from here. Okay, 10:35 AM, and the battery is sitting on, hovering between 11.9 and 11.8. So it's still cruising. I'll drop back again in a while. Well, we're at the 12 o'clock mark, midday. So the system is now run continuously for 14 hours, and our current voltage is still on 11.7 volts. Okay guys, when that ticks over to 6 o'clock, 6 PM, we've been running for 20 hours. So that's not bad at all. In fact, that's very impressive. So if you're thinking about a source of backup light power at the very least, yeah, this is a great way to go. So that's 11.2, 11.1, hovering on the 2. There we go. System's been running for 20 hours. Sorry about the reflection of the light there, that's a bit bad. We're coming up to the 21.5 hour mark, guys. So that's pretty good. And our battery voltage on our 21.5 hours of running is now down to 10.8. That's the alarm, guys. That is the alarm. Well, we definitely know that works. That's it. So, we shut that down. Lights are off. Finished up at 10.6 volts. Now it will come up because it'll start to develop a surface charge. Time, well, basically 8 p.m. So that's 22 hours. 22 hours running 6 main voltage lights through a 300 watt inverter on a 90 amp battery. Amazing. Let's just recap on what this video was all about. It was about getting a 90 amp hour battery, hooking a 300 watt inverter up to it, and seeing how long we can run 240 volt light with it in the scenario of a power out. And we didn't just run one, we ran 6. So we ended up getting 22 hours out of this battery, out of a 90 amp hour battery, which I think is pretty impressive actually, especially when this one has tested 70% healthy. So yeah, in the scenario of the power goes out, an inverter is a great device to have. You can connect it up to your battery, run lighting, run any other appliance that needs mains, up to 300 watts in this case, because that's what this inverter obviously is. So super handy stuff. And in the scenario of, say, like even myself, I mean, my house has got gas and power. So if I was to lose power, it's the main thing I'm after is just lighting. I've got gas for cooking, so that's fine, and I've got gas hot water. Even though the gas hot water is electric start, this inverter will comfortably start that as well. So in a complete power outage, just with an inverter like this, in my situation, I'll have lighting, gas for cooking, gas for heating, gas for hot water. The only thing I'm really missing out on is just a fridge. But I've got a bigger system down here that actually caters for that. But just for the sake of an emergency, if you want something that'll certainly get you by, and then for how long will it get you by? Well, we've proven that you can definitely run 6 240 volt, these are LED lights, but you can run 6 240 volt LED lights through a 300 watt inverter for 22 hours on a charged 90 amp battery. So that's impressive stuff. And if you have a crossover switch installed in your mains meter box and a plug, that will enable you to, in the situation of the power goes out, to connect up your inverter to a battery, and via an extension cord you can plug straight into your meter box, switch over your crossover switch so it goes from mains to off-grid power, and then you can select whether you want power points to be run, certain sections of the house to be run, or lighting, or combination of both. Now obviously if you wanted to run everything as per normal, you'd need a way bigger inverter, something like about a 3,000 to 5,000 watt inverter, and you need a lot more storage than this. But in the instance of just the power's gone out, it's probably going to go out for 1, 2 days, maybe 3 days. Between these two items here, they will suffice. So there's no noisy generator running in the backyard creating noise for your neighbours, and then having to refill it every 6 to 8 hours depending on the generator. There's nothing like that. This is very quiet, very simple to connect, very simple to get into service. And as we've seen, you know, it's if you're just wanting to run lighting or just basic stuff, up to 300 watts. In this case, this is an excellent option to have kicking around when the power goes out. And one of these batteries, I mean, you could use your car battery. You just pop the bonnet, clip the leads on it. Yes, car batteries are not ideal to use in this case, because car batteries much prefer, and they're engineered to be drained down super quickly, like in the case of starting up the engine, and then charged up very slowly, whereas a deep cycle battery is kind of the opposite. It's quite happy to be drawn on over a long period of time and then quickly charged back up again. So if you're half interested in having just a very basic backup, you could purchase yourself a deep cycle battery, keep it charged, which really you'd only have to do once a month. Just pop it on a battery charger, make sure it's topped right up, and that way whenever you need it, it's ready to go. And a battery like this, in that circumstance, you'll get 5 years out of it, maybe 6. And if ever the grid goes down, or if you're ever in need of running things independently, well, it's just a very simple setup to connect up. So there you have it. We've got 22 hours out of a not 100% battery, it's a 70% battery, but it was fully charged, running your 300 watt inverter. So again, in the case of if the power completely went down, in a house that's similarly set up like mine, which has got gas and power, well, with the gas we'll have, you know, hot water, no problems. We've got electric start. We'll have gas for cooking, no problems, and we'll have lighting for the duration of the time the power's down. And then when the power comes back on, well, this would probably take around about 12 hours to recharge. And if you've got solar, well, then, you know, your recharging can be constant. So yeah, there you have it. That's what this was all about. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got something out of it. See you next time.